So can anyone tell what are the previous points that we have discussed in relationship management with stakeholder? So stakeholders relationship management, that is very important point, because stakeholders are the very important element of the business. So stakeholder kunala म्हणतो आपण? Those who are directly or indirectly involved in the decision making process, or those who are directly or indirectly involved in the results of the company. It may be in terms of finance, it may be in terms of any other results. कंपनीच्या कामाशी रिलेटेड जे लोक आहेत त्यांना आपण स्टेकहोल्डर्स म्हणतो. ओके, सो if we have to revise the previous things whatever we have discussed in second chapter, so that are like this. So we have seen initially these models of ethical decision making. My screen is visible to everyone properly? Screen is visible? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this ethical decision making model we have seen at start point of this chapter. Then in that ethical decision making model, what it consists of? So these two things are there in ethical decision making model mainly. Then we have seen the Jones model. Jones model we have seen because it is commonly used. So these 4 steps are there in the Jones model. After that, we have seen what are the 4 steps mentioned in the Jones model with some example. Next point, we have considered what are the individual and situational factors affecting on the decision making process. So individual, situational. Then we have seen the concept of business ethics management and what are the components of business ethics management. So these 8 components we have seen for business ethics management. So that points we have seen up till now. And next point we have seen how to set the standards for ethical behavior. एखाद्याने इथिकली वागायचं म्हणजे कसं वागायचं, याच्यासाठी जे काही स्टँडर्ड्स आहेत, how to set that standards of ethical behavior, that point we have seen. Under that we have seen these 4 types of ethical codes: organizational, professional, industry and program. Next we have seen on which point primarily these code of ethics is focusing. So these 4 points we have seen, and in last lecture we have started with the point management of stakeholders relationship. Okay, so stakeholders are very important for any business. If the relationship with stakeholders is not maintained properly, that may create problem for the businessman under any situation. And again, in the stakeholder management or in the stakeholder relationship management, few points we have to consider. What kind of relations can be there of the stakeholders with the businessman? So all these points we have to see. But before starting of this point, I have shown you previously this 7 key points or 7 key steps in the stakeholders relationship management. Okay, so whether that 7 steps in the stakeholders management have been understood properly. So I will just open that just for your recalling. आपण हे बघितलं होतं बघा, stakeholders relationship management, how to manage the relationship with stakeholders. So first thing you tell me why it is important to manage the relationship with stakeholders, why this point is there in this chapter. Stakeholders कुणाला म्हणतो आपण? जे कंपनीच्या कामामध्ये इन्व्हॉल्ड असतात, those who are directly or indirectly involved with the company in its profit, in its loss, financial terms or any other terms, त्यांना आपण stakeholder म्हणतो. Then what are the benefits of stakeholders relationship management? Those benefits are also given here. Helping to lower the project risk, building your project or organization reputation, gaining useful buy-in. So these are the advantages. And then these 7 steps are given for relationship management with stakeholder. First, I will just revise. First step is identifying your stakeholder. First, the businessman has to properly identify who are the stakeholders. So, who are the important stakeholders for any business? Can you tell? For any business, who are the stakeholders? Mainly, कोण कोण असतात stakeholder business साठी सांगा मला. Yes, please give the answers. So, who are the stakeholders in any business? Srushti, can you tell? Srushti? Shreya? Who are the stakeholders for the business?
Investors, employees.
Employee. Then? That much only I could hear. Can you repeat it, please?
Investors.
Okay, so mainly the three stakeholders we can say: consumer means customer, then employee. So if you see here also it is mentioned in the slide, who are the main three stakeholders that we can say: customers, employees, and shareholders. So these two terms are different, shareholders and stakeholder. I will come to that point later. So just first we will see what are the key steps. First you have to identify the stakeholders properly. कोण कोण आहेत stakeholder ते identify करायला पाहिजे पहिल्या step मध्ये. In second step you have to map your stakeholders. Mapping means what? You have to categorize them. Categorization will be based on how much power they have. They comes under which category? Means they are related to a directly product or they are related with some design of that product. कशे ते आपल्या product related आहेत. That means nothing but you have to categorize. First you have to identify them. Once the stakeholders are identified, second step is to map your stakeholders. So you have to map the stakeholders, means you have to categorize them. Then third, learn about your stakeholders. So once you categorize them, third step is to learn them. Learning means see the details. Which details? Whether they are positively or negatively impacted by your project. What are their current view of your organization or project? And what are their interests in your project? So what is their interest? Whether they are positive or negative about the product, about the company, that needs to be identified. So that is third step, learning about the stakeholders. Then fourth is plan with your team on how to strategically proceed. So once you identify stakeholder, once you categorize them, then next step is to plan with your team how to strategically proceed. So that planning should be done for interaction with the stakeholders. Again, beyond planning for resource allocation, you can also work together with your team to target the strategic messaging communication with that stakeholders and proceeding with your current issues. So once you plan, next step is engage more effectively with your stakeholders. Next you have to get actively engaged with your stakeholders. So the businessman can call meeting with them face to face, or they can have the telephonic discussion, or they can have the online meetings also, which can be conducted among the stakeholders. That is fifth step. Then next, monitor your stakeholders. म्हणजे एकदा meeting घेतली and that issue it is closed, that doesn't happen. Periodically that review should be conducted or review should be taken. Monitoring the stakeholder म्हणजे काय बघायचं, whether the stakeholder is having same opinion. आता एखाद्याने एकदा आपल्या प्रोडक्टला चांगलं म्हणलं तर not necessary in next month also he will have the same opinion. It can be changed. Their shift can be changed, or their focus can be changed from positive to negative. So whether the stakeholders opinion is changed or shifted from supporting to objecting the project. म्हणजे सुरुवातीला एखादा stakeholder आपल्या support मध्ये असू शकतो. After some time he may have the opposition of that project. Are there any new stakeholders that you have not initially identified? Monitor करायचं म्हणजे काय? हे अजून कुठले स्टेक होल्डर्स ऍड झालेत का तुमच्या आधीच्या लिस्ट मध्ये? काही त्यातले कमी झालेत का? ऑल दिस थिंग्स यू हॅव टू चेक, दॅट इज मॉनिटरिंग. And last is report on stakeholders information. So once you get the information of stakeholders, that should be properly preserved. Their contact details, stakeholder चे contact detail, त्यांचे communication record, तुम्ही त्यांच्याशी कधी communicate केले, on what media you have communicated, what you have communicated, that you have to make its proper documentation. That is nothing but a report on the stakeholders information. So these 7 steps are essentially required for stakeholders relationship management. These are the general steps which I have told. These steps also you can write for these steps also you can use to write answer in the exam, no problem. So these 7 steps are: first, identify stakeholders, map the stakeholders, learn about them, plan with your team for strategically proceeding, engage more effectively with your stakeholders, then monitor your stakeholders, and last it is report on the stakeholders information. So these are the general things. Now, as per the syllabus, we have to see few points in stakeholders relationship management. In that, first point is described like this, that for the relationship management with the stakeholders, we have to use, so we have to use the normative ethical theory as well as the descriptive ethical theory. Both the theories we have to use. So can anyone tell what is the difference between this normative ethical theory and descriptive ethical theory? In first chapter we have seen. So what is the difference in these two theories? इथिकल थेरीज बघितल्यात आपण. सांगा मला ह्या दोन मध्ये काय डिफरन्स आहे? नॉर्मेटिव्ह आणि स्ट्रॅटेजिक, सॉरी, नॉर्मेटिव्ह अँड डिस्क्रिप्टिव्ह इथिकल थेरी. व्हॉट इज द डिफरन्स इन दॅट टू theories? Yes, can anyone tell what is the difference between that two ethical theories, normative and descriptive? What is the difference? Yes, can anyone tell? Yes, Rushti, can you tell the difference between that two theories? What is the difference? What is the difference between that two theories? Yes, Audumbar, can you tell the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Normative ethical theory मध्ये normative ethical ethics is a study of ethical action, and descriptive मध्ये descriptive ethics is a study of people's about normal benefits.
So normative ethical theory, it is telling what is good, what is bad, how to behave. And this descriptive ethical theory is actually describing the steps in practical application. So when you are going to actually take the decisions, so how the decision should be taken, that is explained stepwise in this descriptive ethical theory. So while managing the relationship with stakeholder, we have to take use of this normative ethical theory also and the descriptive ethical theory also. That is given in this particular lines. Okay. So in more stakeholder focused countries like UK, आता UK मध्ये जर बघितलं तर at least some weightage we have to give, or something we have to implement, or some action should be taken whenever something it is asked by the stakeholder. So that is called as, many managers appear to have at least some degree of recognition for stakeholders claim. Stakeholder ने जर एखादा काही claim केला तर for that claim some degree of recognition should be there. So that is there in this UK. Like that, country to country, this relationship management strategy, it is changing, but generally the stakeholders are very important from business point of view. So their opinion or their claims has to be considered. So this stakeholder relationship management, that is not only important in it is not only important in business, but that is important in organization of all kinds, as well as the charities, schools, universities, and government. Everywhere the relationship management with stakeholder, it is of primary importance, because if the stakeholders relationship are not properly maintained, that may hamper on the profit of that businessman. Okay, so then the next thing is assessing the stakeholders importance. आता ideally जर बघितलं तर प्रत्येक स्टेकहोल्डर हा इम्पॉर्टंट आहे. Each stakeholder is important from the businessman's point of view, but if you have to prioritize them, किंवा तुम्हाला जर त्याचं कशाला जास्त इम्पॉर्टन्स द्यायचं, कशाला जास्त द्यायचं नाही, हे जर ठरवायचं असेल, म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल स्टेक होल्डर्स आहेत, एम्प्लॉई स्टेक होल्डर्स आहेत, कन्झ्युमर्स हे स्टेक होल्डर्स आहेत, देन दॅट in case of institute, parents are the stakeholders, trustee members are stakeholders. So how you will access or how you will evaluate their importance. समजा 10 स्टेकहोल्डरनी 10 डिमांड एका वेळेस केल्या, तर for which demand you have to give the more importance, that is called as the accessing the stakeholders importance. Then how the importance you can decide. So for that purpose, there are mainly these three criteria which are given for the accessing the stakeholders important, that we will see in the next slide. But before that, let me just tell, these are the three main stakeholders for any business, just as we discussed: customers, employees, and shareholders. These are the main stakeholders for any business. And now you tell me, what is the difference in stakeholder and shareholder? The shareholder नाव तुम्ही ऐकलं असेल, किंवा हा शब्द बऱ्याच वेळा ऐकला असेल, shareholder. So can anyone tell what is the difference in shareholder and stakeholder? Are you able to see my screen? Is it visible? Yes. Screen is visible to everyone? Yes, Megha, is it visible? What is the difference in shareholder and stakeholder? If I make a statement that shareholder is one type of stakeholder of the company, is it correct? Shareholder is one type of stakeholder of the company, is it correct? Give some answers. You are not responding at all. Is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
correct?
Correct.
Okay. So shareholder means he is having some share investment in the company, आणि कंपनीच्या प्रॉफिट नुसार त्या शेअरची व्हॅल्यू कमी जास्त होते. So I hope everyone is clear about that share market. So shareholders are one type of stakeholders. So these are the main three stakeholders. This can be asked in the MCQ, this question: customers, employees, and shareholders. These are the main three stakeholders for any business. मग तुम्हाला आता मी जसं सांगितलं की जर एकाच वेळेस बऱ्याच स्टेक होल्डरनी काही क्लेम केले किंवा काही डिमांड केल्या, तर हाऊ यू कॅन डिसाइड देअर इम्पॉर्टन्स. सो फॉर डिसाइडिंग द इम्पॉर्टन्स ऑफ स्टेक होल्डर, यू हॅव टू कन्सिडर these 3 points mainly. Okay, so 3 points you have to consider for deciding the importance of the stakeholder. So that 3 points are: power of the stakeholder, first point is power of the stakeholder, then legitimacy of that stakeholder, and urgency of that particular claim, whatever is made by the stakeholder. So power of stakeholder म्हणजे काय? The perceived ability of stakeholder to influence organizational action. त्या स्टेक होल्डरकडे किती पॉवर आहे, कशाची पॉवर, नॉट ओनली इन टर्म्स ऑफ फायनान्स बट हाऊ मच पॉवर ही हॅज टू इन्फ्लुएन्स द ऑर्गनायझेशनल ऍक्शन. सो सपोज आता एखाद्या तुमच्या कंपनीमध्ये किंवा तुमच्या बिझनेसमध्ये एक असं स्टेक होल्डर आहे की त्याच्या डिमांडमुळे किंवा त्याची डिमांड जर फुलफिल नाही केली तर युअर होल प्रोडक्शन कॅन स्टॉप. देन व्हॉट वी कॅन से दॅट द पॉवर लेवल ऑफ दॅट स्टेक होल्डर इज हाय. किंवा काही सपोज कंझ्युमरनेच तुमच्या एखाद्या प्रोडक्ट वरती बहिष्कार टाकला किंवा कंझ्युमर, in such case consumer's power is very high, that is called as power. So how much that stakeholder can influence म्हणजे काय, प्रभाव पाडणे. How much that the stakeholder can have influence on organizational action, that is first point for deciding the importance. Second point is legitimacy, means what? So here legitimacy stands for legally ती डिमांड किती योग्य आहे आणि किती अयोग्य आहे. सो वेदर द ऑर्गनायझेशन परसिव्स द स्टेक होल्डर्स ऍक्शन ऍज अ डिझायरेबल, प्रॉपर ऑर अप्रोप्रिएट. त्याची वैधता किती आहे, वेदर इट इज व्हॅलिड, प्रॉपर ऑर नॉट, दॅट नीड्स टू बी चेक. सपोज एखाद्या कंझ्युमरची पॉवर खूप आहे त्याच्याकडं, बट इफ दॅट डिमांड इज नॉट ऍज पर द लिगल रूल्स किंवा इलिगल असेल ती डिमांड किंवा इथिकल नसेल, तर इन दॅट केस दॅट क्लेम विल बी नेव्हर considered by the businessman. That is called as legitimacy. And third one, it is urgency. How much that claim has, or how much the claim is having the urgency. If it is very urgent, obviously that will be considered a high priority. If it is not urgent, that priority will be at the last. The degree to which stakeholder claims are perceived to call for immediate attention. So by considering these 3 points, power, then legitimacy and urgency, we can assess the stakeholders importance. म्हणजे जास्त stakeholder असतील तर त्याचा तुम्ही importance कसं identify करू शकता, by using these 3 points you can assess the stakeholders importance. That is importance, that is this point. Then the next thing it is, so here same it is given. So power, legitimacy and urgency, by considering these 3 terms, importance of stakeholder can be assessed. Then the types of stakeholders relationship, हा पॉइंट आपल्याला बघायचा आपण की कुठल्या कुठल्या टाइपचे रिलेशनशिप स्टेकहोल्डरचे बिझनेस सोबत असू शकतात किंवा which type of relationships can be there between the businessman and the stakeholders. So there are various types. So around 9 types we have to see here. If you see, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and next 5 to 9. So these are the various 9 types of relationship between the stakeholders and businessman. But primarily, if you have to categorize this stakeholders relationship, we can categorize into 2 points. So just for your understanding, I am writing here. So first one, it is positive type of the relationship between the stakeholder and the businessman, and second, it is the negative type of relationship with the businessman and the stakeholder. So negative मध्ये काय करू शकतात आणि पॉझिटिव्ह मध्ये काय करू शकतात स्टेकहोल्डर, or when we can say it is positive and when we can say it is negative. So obviously when the stakeholder is considering about the profit of that businessman, or when the stakeholder is in the favor of the businessman, then that type of relationship we can say it is positive. And when the stakeholder is in the opposite party of the businessman, so it may happen for some days he is good, but after some days they may have some conflicts and that person may be in the opposition. So that is called as the negative type of relationship between the businessman and the stakeholder. So what can happen for this negative case? So it has been generally assumed, so here it is given, it has been generally assumed that relationship between business and the stakeholder tended somewhat confrontational in nature. Confrontational म्हणजे काय? That is very complicated. Sometimes it is good and sometimes it is bad. So for example, just as, so you can see this paragraph, just as companies might exploit consumers or downwise employees, they can just remove the employees, or consumers might equally boycott company product. Either the company can remove the employees, or in some of the cases suddenly the consumer can boycott. So boycott meaning it is to stop किंवा बंद करणे किंवा बहिष्कार टाकणे कंपनीच्या एखाद्या प्रोडक्ट वरती सडनली द कंझ्युमर्स कॅन हॅव बॅन, ते बहिष्कार टाकू शकतात. एम्प्लॉईज कुड इनिशिएट इंडस्ट्रियल ऍक्शन्स, देयर कॅन बी सडन इंडस्ट्रियल ऍक्शन्स that can be started or initiated by the employees. Then suppliers withheld credit, competitors engage in industrial pressure groups, then employees aggressively direct action. So these are all against the companies. So that actions can be against the companies. So all these are the negative type of relationship between the stakeholder and the businessman. So these are the negative relationships. If the relationship is positive between the businessman and the stakeholder, so what can happen? So that is followed by a, okay, so just a minute. This is followed by a dramatic increase in collaboration between the business and other stakeholders such as non-governmental organizations. So if the relations are positive, the stakeholder if the relationships are positive, the stakeholder will always consider about the profit of the businessman. He will always consider about good qualities of the products. So there can be collaboration between the two business companies, or there can be collaboration between the stakeholder and the businessman. Like that, there can be the positive relationship with the stakeholders. So along with these two basic relationship, either positive or negative, there are total 9 types of relationship between the stakeholders and businessmen that we have to consider. So totally there are 9 types of relationship between the stakeholder and the business, or stakeholder and the businessman. Okay, so all of these developments focus on business ethics and specific stakeholders group. Stakeholders relationship can take a variety of different forms, including the following. So apart from main relation कुठलं सांगितलं, it can be positive or it can be negative. But along with that, what other relationships are there? So you can just read that relationships. First is challenge. First is challenge, then speeding partners, one-way support, mutual support, endorsement, project dialogues, strategy dialogue, task force, joint venture or alliances. So what can be the challenge type of relationship? When we can say that relationship is challenge type of relationship between the stakeholders and that employees, or stakeholders and the businessman. When the relationship acts as a challenge, so the relationship based on the mutual opposition and conflict. So when the businessman and the stakeholder, they are having mutual opposition, so they have some objection about every other, their intention. त्यांचे परस्पर मतभेद असतील तर त्याला आपण काय म्हणू शकतो? The relationship based on the mutual opposition and conflict. Conflict चा अर्थ पण काय होतो? मतभेद किंवा दोन गोष्टींमध्ये काहीतरी विरोधाभास असणे त्याला म्हणतात कन्फ्लिक्ट. सो व्हेन द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन द बिझनेसमन अँड हिज स्टेक होल्डर्स he is having some arguments, some disputes, then it is called as challenge relationship. Then second is speeding partners. So speeding partners कधी म्हणू शकतो relationship जेव्हा that relationship is based on healthy conflict and periodic bouts of conflict. म्हणजे दोन्ही मध्ये कॉम्पिटिशन आहे बट किंवा दोन्ही मध्ये मतभेद आहेत but that is healthy conflict. So they are having competition but that is not unethical, that is having the healthy conflict. म्हणजे दोन्ही मधले विरोधाभास जरी असले तरी ते प्रॉपरली कम्युनिकेट केलेले आहेत. ethically they are behaving with each other. That is the speeding partner type of relationship. Third is one way support. So one way support means what? Relationship based on philanthropy, sponsorship or other forms of the resource contribution from one party to another. So this philanthropy, that word stands for, just a minute, I will show you the meaning. So this philanthropy, it is the desire to promote the welfare of others. जेव्हा दुसऱ्याचं भले करण्याची आपली इच्छा असते, that is called as the desire to promote the welfare of others, expressed especially by the generous donation of money or good cause. जिथं आपण देणगी किंवा अनुदान देऊन काहीतरी एखादं स्टेक होल्डर्स रिलेशनशिपचा एस्टॅब्लिशमेंट, म्हणजे एखाद्याने जर देणगी दिली एखाद्या संस्थेला, that is coming under this one way support. So he is not expecting anything from that organization, but still some donations are given. That is called as the relationship based on philanthropy. Philanthropy is nothing but एखाद्याला स्वेच्छेने एखादी फायनान्शियली मदत करणे किंवा देणगी देणे. That is called as relationship based on philanthropy. Sponsorship, so that is more technical word which you can understand. Sponsorship or other forms of resource contribution from one party to another. म्हणजे फक्त एखाद्या संस्थेला जर एखाद्या व्यक्तीने देणगी दिली, it is not expecting anything in return from that organization, then that will call as one way support. Then fourth is mutual support. So relationship based on formal or informal two-way support, such as derived from strategic philanthropy or as formalized through the third party association or body of some kind. Means where both the parties, they are mutually helping to each other in terms of the finance. One way support मध्ये देणगी अनुदान अशा गोष्टी फक्त एका साइडने असतात, whereas in mutual support they are there for both the sides. Okay, that is mutual support. Then next, endorsement. So this endorsement relationship is based on paid or unpaid approval granted from one partner to other in relation to the specific products. So that is nothing but the paid or unpaid public approval granted from one partner to other partner in relation to specific products or programs. That is the endorsement. Then sixth type of relationship is project dialogue. लक्षात घ्या, आपण हे स्टेक होल्डर्स मधले रिलेशनशिप कसे असू शकतात किंवा what kind of relationships can be there among the stakeholders and the businessman that we are considering. So sixth type of relationship is project dialogue. So what is there in this? Relationship based on discussion between partners regarding specific project or proposal. म्हणजे दोन पार्टनर जर एकत्र येऊन एखाद्या प्रोजेक्ट वरती काम करत असतील तर their relationship, it is called as the project dialogue relationship. So in that they may have the discussion about the project or proposal. Combinedly they are ready for that profit and loss. That is called as the project dialogue. Then next is strategy dialogue. So strategy dialogue, this kind of relationships, in this the partner, they come together and they decide some strategy or they develop some strategy for working together, or they develop some strategy for their common working. That is called as the strategy dialogue. That is one kind of relationship. Next is task force. So task force means what? Relationship based on cooperation to achieve a specific task, such as research project or new product or system development. So when they are combinedly working together on one project, or they are combinedly working on some task to complete it, then that kind of relationship is called as task force. And last one, it is joint venture or alliances. So joint venture and alliances, so that is relationship based on formal partnership involving significant mutual resources commitment to achieve the specific goals. So they are committed to each other. They are working on some joint venture, and they are committed to complete that particular goal, or they are bound for that completion of that specific goal. So that kind of these 9 types of relationships are there. So you just go through that 9 types of relationships. Just have a glance on that for 1 minute. Challenging or challenge, then speeding partners. So first one, it is challenge, then speeding partners, one-way support, mutual respect, endorsement. Then next is project dialogue, strategy dialogue, task force, and joint venture or alliances. So these are the 9 types of stakeholders relationship. So is it clear? What is the stakeholders relationship? What are its different types? Why it is important to manage the stakeholders relationship? Is it clear to everyone? Yes, clear or not? Yes, Rohini. Yes, Audumbar, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
So these are the simple relationship between the stakeholders and relationship. Okay, so here we are completing the point, accessing the stakeholders relationship. So after this, now the next point we have to see, just a minute. So after the stakeholders management, now the next point which we have to see, that is very important, and that is accessing the ethical performance. Access म्हणजे काय? इव्हॅल्युएट करणे किंवा मूल्यमापन करणे. एखाद्या कंपनीचा इथिकल परफॉर्मन्स जर तुम्हाला ऍक्सेस करायचा असेल तर हाऊ यू कॅन ऍक्सेस दॅट इथिकल परफॉर्मन्स ऑफ द कंपनी. सो कॅन यू टेल एनी आयडिया फॉर ऍक्सेसिंग द इथिकल परफॉर्मन्स ऑफ एनी कंपनी? कसं तुम्ही त्याचं मूल्यमापन करू शकता की एखादी कंपनी इथिकल परफॉर्मन्स आहे का नाही, का इथिकल परफॉर्मन्स कमी आहे? How you can access the ethical performance for any company? Can you tell? You just think and tell me in 1 minute what you can do to access the ethical performance of any company. हे जर केलं तर तुम्हाला समजेल की त्या कंपनीचा इथिकल परफॉर्मन्स चांगला आहे का नाही. So can you tell me at least one thing by which we can access the ethical performance of the company? फॉर एक्झाम्पल मी एक सांगते तुम्हाला की ऑडिट घ्यायचं त्या कंपनीचं आणि ऑडिट मध्ये चेक करायचं की वेदर ईच अँड एव्हरीथिंग इज ऍज पर द इथिक्स ऑर नॉट, म्हणजे त्याचा कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट आहे का नाही आणि कंपनी मधला प्रत्येक जण कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट नुसार वागतोय का नाही हे चेक करायचं. दॅट इज वन वे ऑफ असेसिंग द इथिकल परफॉर्मन्स. लाईक दॅट यू टेल मी. What can be the other ways for accessing the ethical performance? Yes. Can you tell me any one way? Accessing म्हणजे काय? Access म्हणजे evaluate म्हणजे मूल्यमापन करणे, त्याचं मूल्यांकन करणे की त्याच्यामध्ये इथिकल परफॉर्मन्स फॉलो होतोय का नाही, or whether the company is having ethical performance of or not, that you have to follow or that you have to check. That is called as accessing the ethical performance. So what you can do? So the effective management of business ethics relies to some extent on being able to access and evaluate the performance. So you have to access the performance, or you have to check whether the company is having the ethical performance of or not. If it is low or disappointing performance in business ethics, that might call the increased attention to ethical issues. आणि जर हाय परफॉर्मन्स आला ह्याच्यामध्ये तर ऑब्वियसली व्हॉट वी कॅन कन्क्लूड that it indicate that effective approach for good management of the business ethics. म्हणजे तुम्ही जर कंपन्यांचा सर्वे केला आणि त्याच्यामध्ये जर if you get the good performance, then obviously ethics it is followed. There is no any need for any necessary action. In that survey, if you get low or disappointing performance, then again the remark is put that the company needs to improve its ethical strategies, or they have to implement the ethics more effectively, like that. जर सर्वे मध्ये ethical performance low असेल तर they need more attention on ethical issues. If it is good, then that ethics it is followed in the particular company, that we can say. Then accessing ethical performance include social auditing, environmental accounting, sustainability, reporting, as well as various other mixtures of the technology. So this one by one we are going to see how to assess the ethical performance. But first tell me whether that point is clear. What is the meaning of accessing ethical performance? Yes, assessment of ethical performance means what? Is it first clear to you? You tell me. सांगा मला, समजतंय का? आधी याचा अर्थ समजतोय का सांगा. Accessing the or assessing the ethical performance means what? Yes or no? Yes. How you can say that company is having ethical performance or not? ह्याला म्हणतात assessing the ethical performance. So there are various ways to assess the ethical performance that we are going to see now. कुठल्या कुठल्या पद्धतीने ethical performance assessment होऊ शकते. Okay, so first way is to conduct the ethical compliance audit. Ethical compliance audit. So approaches preferred ethical often tend to focus on internal management system or individual level of aspects of the business, such as compliance with codes of ethics, legal violations, etc. And that is ethical compliance audit. So I will just write numbers here. पहिला वे कुठला आहे ethical performance assess करायचा? First way, it is the performing ethical compliance audit. So first thing is you have to perform or you have to conduct the, so I will just put the numbers. So first approach is to perform the ethical compliance audit. आता कुठल्याही कंपनीमध्ये ऑडिट का होतं मला सांगा तुम्ही. What is the need of audit? Now you might have heard this term many times by your parents, by your teachers. एखाद्या कंपनीमध्ये ऑडिट असतं. ऑडिट होतं म्हणजे काय होतं तिथं? What is done in the audit? You tell me. Generally ऑडिट म्हणजे काय?
ऑडिट मध्ये इयर मध्ये जो प्रोग्रेस झालेला आहे ओव्हरव्ह्यू दिला जातो ऑडिट मध्ये.
So progress it is studied or progress it is reviewed. That is one thing. And again, whether everything is as per the norms or as per the expectation, that is checked in the ऑडिट म्हणजे आता एखाद्या कंपनीचा कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट आहे का नाही हे आधी चेक करतात ऑडिट मध्ये. इफ इट इज नॉट देअर then there will be obviously remark that code of conduct is required by the company. And जर code of conduct असेल तर each checkpoint it is checked. Now you might be aware about that checklist. कुठलीही गोष्ट चेक करताना आपण एक लिस्ट बनवतो, that is called as checklist. So whether everything is as per the rule or as per the expectation, it is not or it is there, that is checked, and that is called as the ethical compliance audit. So ethical compliance audit, that is first way to assess the ethical performance. Just a minute. For assessing the ethical performance, conduction of this just a minute. For the assessing the ethical performance, first thing is to conduct the ethical compliance audit. आता ethical compliance audit मध्ये काय चेक होतं, that it is checked whether the ethics is followed at individual level. So first it is checked that whether the ethics is followed at individual level or as a teamwork, whether the ethics is followed or not. म्हणजे teamwork ने code of ethics follow केलाय का, legal violations काय आहेत का, whether the everything is running as per the rules or not, that is checked in the ethical compliance audit. So first way of accessing the ethical performance is conduction of ethical compliance audit. आणि जर त्याच्यामध्ये कुठल्याही कोड ऑफ कंडक्टच्या फॉलोइंग मध्ये जर फॉल्ट तिथं दिसला तर that remark it is put in the particular audit that this point needs to be verified. So it is a ethical compliance audit is a systematic evaluation of an organization ethics program and performance to determine its effectiveness. Sir, ethical compliance audit मध्ये प्रत्येक एलिमेंटचं काम as per the requirement होतंय का नाही, that is checked. Then ethics is found in approaches which tend to focus on stakeholders' values such as ethical accounting and technique and ethical audit techniques. Okay, so all these points are checked. Then second approach here, second approach it is to carry the environmental assessment. The environmental assessment मध्ये काय चेक होणार, whether the company or that organization is taking care of the sustainability of environment or not. म्हणजे आता एखादा बिझनेस आहे, त्या बिझनेस मधून एन्व्हायरमेंट वरती निगेटिव्ह इफेक्ट करणारे काही घटक जर प्रोड्यूस होत असतील किंवा त्या प्रोडक्ट मुळे जर एन्व्हायरमेंट मध्ये कुठला निगेटिव्ह इफेक्ट होत असेल तर दॅट वी हॅव टू check. That is second approach and that is called as the environmental approach. So environmental approach refers to tend to focus exclusively on the organizational impact on the natural environment. So hence in environmental report it will typically, see here, hence the environmental report will typically report on an organization policies, programs and performance in various areas of environmental management. म्हणजे त्याच्यातून कुठे एअर पोल्युशन होतंय का, वॉटर पोल्युशन होतंय का, हे एन्व्हायरमेंटल ऍस्पेक्ट चेक केले जातात. दॅट इज एन्व्हायरमेंटल ऑडिट और वी कॅन से एन्व्हायरमेंटल अप्रोच. सो नेक्स्ट टू मेथड्स आर देअर. एन्व्हायरमेंट सारखा सोशल अप्रोच आहे आणि त्याच्यानंतर सस्टेनेबिलिटी. सो दिस फोर थिंग्स आर देअर. सो दिस सोशल is third thing, and after that whatever is the sustainability, that is the fourth thing. So this one, so these two things we will see in the next lecture. So today we have discussed about how to manage the relationship in the stakeholders, and the point which we have started, that is accessing the ethical performance. Okay, so we will stop here today. You just type your number in the chat box and you can leave the meeting. We will see the remaining points in the next lecture.